Nintendo has officially confirmed the Switch's successor to be releasing in 2025, and it has me wondering, what do they have in store for Splatoon? Splatoon is one of Nintendo's fastest growing franchises, and I'd like to think that Splatoon 4 will be one of Nintendo's launch titles for the new console, if not at launch, maybe a year after the console's release. This franchise is known for bringing back specials and stages from prior games, so Chase and I wanted to look at the current Splatoon 3 specials and talk about the ones we think should return. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channels. Also, let us know in the comments your thoughts on which specials should return. With that out of the way, let's get started. Alright, so like I said, let's start off with a fun one. I think this one's gonna generate a lot of conversation.
You think Zooka's fun?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Alright.
Let's start off with Trizooka. I want to hear your opinion first.
So for Zooka, this might be contrary to public opinion, but I actually would be okay with it returning. Obviously, with some adjustments. Needs to be slower. Maybe they could do that thing that people say where like the first shot is the slowest, like most lag before shooting the first shot, then it gets faster as it goes. Or maybe like the size of the first projectile is like slimmer than the other ones. I don't know, but I like the concept of it, but it clearly needs some tuning, some fine tuning on coming back. But I'd be down for it to return. I think modified.
I think this might surprise people because like I actually like the special and you know it's on one of my favorite weapons, but I actually don't want it to come back.
I mean that's fair.
Yeah, I think what you said, like the large hitbox and being able to clip you across the stage, I don't know. I feel like that's something that we've already experienced in 2 games already. I think it might be time for something new. So
yeah.
I will go ahead and say no on this one.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I think if the concept has been used twice already and it's mostly the same thing, like it's hardly modified at all besides just less shots. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it might not need to come back. I'm just saying though, like I'm down for it to come back if they want to.
Yeah,
just modify it. Yeah,
I think that concept of like if it's been used twice is gonna bite me in the end. Towards the next specials.
That is most of these, I think.
Yeah.
There's honestly a few that it's not, but yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay. Big Bubbler. I think this one was done fine for like what its predecessor was with Bubbler. I'm okay with Big Bubbler coming back. Just as long as we have the tools to basically compete against it.
Yeah, like if it just came back how it is right now, like unchanged, I would be okay with that. My biggest problem with this special is the stupid satellite thing in the middle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I hate how you can just hide in that and just, like especially like rollers.
Oh, you mean like inside? Oh, so like when you go inside the bubbler
yeah, like
and people. Okay,
like using the middle satellite as a shield.
As a shield. Okay.
I'm okay with the ability to super jump to it. I think that's cool actually, but using it as a shield, I don't know. That just kind of annoys me. It feels cheap sometimes. I guess is my main thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't mind like the tower control cheese or objective cheese. I think it's fine, especially because like it doesn't last long on the tower and stuff. So if it came back, I just want them to nerf the satellite shield in the middle. That's all I would want them to do. Yeah. And besides that, I'm cool with it coming back.
I think as long as they don't keep, like, if they change it again in Splatoon 4, where it's like even beefier, where it could like take more hits, I would be not okay with it. But I think for like something that came back from Splatoon 1 extremely modified, I wouldn't mind seeing this in Splatoon 4. I honestly don't consider Bubbler and Big Bubbler the same special. Like those are 2 completely different things. So this one could potentially come back, I think. All right. Zipcaster 100%, 100% coming back, dude. It's like the funnest special in the game.
I do agree. It is probably my favorite special. This is probably not nitpicking, but it's like wishful thinking because it probably won't happen. But the worst thing about the special is just like the lag factor. Like why do you just randomly die in the air sometimes, even when no one's shooting at you? But then like when someone's doing it to you, like vice versa, and you shoot them, they don't die. It just like doesn't make sense sometimes. But
yeah.
That you know, that's nitpicking. Like there's not much the game can even do about that. Just the netcode thing. But as a concept, I really do want this to come back. It's so fun.
I wish the ink efficiency would improve just a little bit, not a lot, because I don't know about you. There's some times where you're like zipping and you're about to use your weapon to shoot at the enemy, but then like you run out of time and you just zip back. Maybe that's just a Slosher Deco problem or a Stamper problem, but
I feel it on my Tetra a little too.
Yeah.
Like when you roll, like it depletes pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like special power up does help, but even then, like it'd be nice if you didn't have to run that.
Yeah. I think the whole concept of it's really fun. Like you're able to zip around the map. You're able to I think that buff that they gave to it was really good, where you're able to like one-shot somebody when you, the hitbox is bigger. I think that was very helpful.
Good.
So I think, to me, when I think of Splatoon 3, Zipcaster doesn't come to mind because there's other specials that kind of have that identity. So I feel like Zipcaster is something that's able to go across different games. So I think I would love to see that come back.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Tenta Missiles.
All right, let me go first this one. Let me go first. No. That's all. No,
let's just move on.
I mean, for real though, like it's been in 2 games. It's been, you know what? Actually, so obviously my answer is still no. But I will say, if it were to come back, what I want them to do. You played early Splatoon 2, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember like
when it couldn't go into ink or stuff?
That and just like how it launched way slower.
Oh
like,
yeah,
it took,
it was
like,
incredibly slow.
Them out.
Yeah, like
if it were to come back, I think if they gave it that, it would be a lot more just fair.
Yeah.
So like again, if it had to come back, but it really shouldn't. We've had this in 2 games already. It's been awful in both of them. It does not need a return.
I think we've been fortunate enough where there's not so many like weapons that have this special in this game. Like in Splatoon 2, there were like so many. But like obviously you would see like K-Shot being the very like popular one. You would see some like NZ. Oh, you know what I hated in this too? The Sploosh. I think it was Sploosh Neo. Was that the one that had missiles?
I think one of them did.
One of them had missiles. It was super annoying, dude. It was just playing against the missiles is just super annoying. So
well, the orange Zap had it too, right?
Yeah, the orange Zap had it. I don't think this should come back at all. No changes whatsoever. It should not come back. Okay.
Yeah, just like flat out, do not return. No. You don't need it.
Okay. Inkstorm. I think because it's been in 2 games, I think it's fair to say like either like completely change the concept of what it is, or just introduce a new special that takes over enemy space in a passive way. So I don't think Inkstorm should return.
It's like, this one's weird. It's like the most neutral. It's like the special I feel the most neutral about on this whole list. Like I really don't care if it comes back, but also like I'm down if it does at the same time. Like I don't have a problem with this special, but also it's just like, it's not super strong or anything. Like it's very middle of the road. Yeah. So like, if it came back, I wouldn't hate it, but I also just be like, it's like, but it's pretty neutral.
It's a cool concept, like being able to passively take over enemy space or damage enemy over time. But I think for me, it's just the fact that it's been in Splatoon 2 and now it's in Splatoon 3. It's been on a couple of decent weapons for a game, like a special that's been ported over from S2. And just coming back to S4, I don't know. It would just seem like overkill at that point.
Yeah, like they tried to make it more relevant by what it like heals you.
Yeah, the
right?
healing factor.
But I don't know. I feel like unless people just aren't taking advantage of it, I feel like it didn't. It's a little too situational, I think.
I always felt like they should have added like a mist effect to it. Not like toxic mist, but like when it goes on the ground, it creates like this small mist, like where the rain falls. Kind of like,
where it deploys?
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like if you were playing like Breath of the Wild and you're walking through I think it's in Faron, where you're just walking and like you see like little fog on your feet. And like people can't. Right. So like stealth people, like, rollers can just like go through the rain and stealth and try to kill somebody. I don't know. But I feel like it's been overkill at this point. It's too much. This next one's a bit sad because I think my criteria might kick me here. Booyah Bomb. What do you think?
It's a good special.
Yeah.
It's definitely. The main thing that screws it over in this game is just like a lot of the main weapons high object damage.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. But as a concept, it's fine. But again, this same criteria that we keep going off of, like it has been in 2 games already, and especially from going from a Splatoon 2 to 3, this is a special that wasn't modified at all. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind like if it came back. I think it could use some sort of like a change. Now how they would change it, I don't know. But I think it could use some kind of altercation. Is what I'm trying to say.
I think this is where I break my own rule. I would actually want this special to come back. I don't know. I'm just a really big fan of Booyah Bomb. Maybe because like I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, and Booyah Bomb is based off Spirit Bomb. So like, okay, you have Super Saiyan 1 Booyah Bomb in S1, S2. You have Super Saiyan 2 Booyah Bomb based in S3. Just make the difference just more electricity around it for S4. Maybe that. But I don't know. I like the concept because it's a good displacement special. It's a nice way of having invincibility in the game, but still being a sitting duck if people shoot at you. It's not like something like, Kraken, which we'll talk about later on, but that's what I like about Booyah Bomb. It's a displacement special that keeps you invincible for a short period of time. If you position incorrectly, like you put yourself in enemy lines and they shoot at you, well, that's on you for putting yourself there. So
can I say something though about this special?
Go for it.
This might be nitpicking, but I do have a problem with this special, and I've had this problem since Splatoon 2. I don't like, because you know how like your teammates can booyah to speed up how fast it charges, right?
Yeah.
I don't like how the teammates can still booyah and help you charge it faster even if they're dead. I feel I like the idea of it being more advantageous to use it when your whole team is alive.
I see. So that's a little change you would make. So like no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean that would, obviously that would make the special a little worse, but maybe they could give it like some other compensation buff, like maybe I don't know, maybe make the radius slightly bigger or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
More health maybe.
I think if it were to come back, I think the only change I would make is you could hold it like less longer, because like I think you get like 8 seconds. Make it hold it for like, I don't know, 6.5 or 7 seconds, because like people holding on to that special during like tower control overtime, it's like, okay, you literally just throw it and like GG's, there it's done.
Wait, I haven't used this is funny because I have the golden Booyah Bomb badge, but clearly I haven't used it enough. If you like let the meter run out while you're just holding it, like while it's charging, but you don't actually throw it, does it auto throw it or does it like get canceled?
It auto throws it. Where like whatever direction that you're aiming. I looked it up, it's 9 seconds. So yeah, I think it definitely needs like a cooldown of how long you can hold it and throw it.
Maybe that's a nerf they could give it, like missiles. How like if the meter runs out, it just like deletes it. Like you can't actually throw it.
Yeah,
that would be funny. But but anyways, back to the main topic though. I if it came back, fine. Personally though, I think it needs just a slight change just to spice things up.
All right, Wavebreaker. I don't really care about this special. That like I'm not too fond of it, but I also don't hate it, if that makes sense. So like if it came back, okay, cool. If it didn't, like I have nothing to. I will say maybe no, because this is the special they gave Dreadringer D, and it ruined all my hope of that kit getting a really good kit. So maybe I'm just gonna say no because of bias.
You're just salty. So
I'm just salty. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, as a dually user, I hate this special. So, because of that.
Oh, right, because when you dodge roll, you're basically stationary.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, remember, with dualies, you're not jumping a whole lot. You're mainly stuck to the floor. So
that
this
makes
is like
a lot
the
of sense.
anti-dually weapon.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like dualies are the only class that really struggles with it so hard. Like everything else just kind of owns Wavebreaker, I feel like. So that'd be very biased of me to say. So I will say, if it comes back, I'm okay with it, but I think they should. It needs to be stronger in some way. I know some people say like make the waves bigger or make them faster or something. What if? Actually, this might make it too good. What if it was a thing like when you place it, it doesn't actually run out. Like it has to be destroyed.
Oh,
it's like a sprinkler. Like it keeps.
So like only enemy death would result in its like destruction or people actually shooting at it.
Yeah, like people have to shoot it in order for it. Oh yeah, and enemy death. Yeah, enemy death would kill it too.
Oh, that would be incredible. Like, imagine putting the Wavebreaker in an unusual spot where, like, someone can't... Like, imagine, you know, like, on Haggle Zones, you have, like, those stacks on the right and left side. Imagine someone putting it there and the enemy can't shoot it because they don't have a long-range weapon or an AoE weapon.
True.
That would be really annoying.
Well, just kill the person then. But I was gonna say, maybe as compensation, if they did that, they could nerf the waves themselves. Like maybe make them move slower, maybe make them thinner, easier to dodge. Basically, I don't know. I do think if it comes back, it needs a change because just right now, I think besides dualies, it kind of loses to everything. It's just kind of a waste of a special.
I feel like if they make it stronger, we're gonna end up having that one moment from story mode. I don't know if you remember that one mission where like there's a bunch of Wavebreaker waves.
Yeah, the jump roping.
Yeah, just because you reminded me of that, I'm gonna say no. I don't want to deal with that.
As a dual user, I'm totally happy with it not coming back. I'm just trying to be fair and not be biased. But yeah, like, if it doesn't come back, all is well. I'm
gonna be completely biased in a special that's gonna come up very soon because I'm a Slosher user. So don't worry about it.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right, Inkvec. Right. I think it's a very cool concept. Like the fact that you're able to protect your teammates while also having like a gun that could propel you forward and attack the enemy. I think it's cool. It's obviously one of the weaker specials right now, but I think just because we're in a like very fast-paced meta where Cooler is really dominant, Rushdown, I feel like this one just struggles. Maybe it would have been better in S2, but if S4 is different in terms of like playstyle and meta development, I think this one's fine. So I'll say yes. I think Inkvec should return.
I'm just gonna say what everyone says about this special, about how they need to buff it. It should come back because I think the concept is really good, but they need to let you cancel it or let you early detonate it.
Yeah.
That's the main problem with it. It's just like you're stuck in it once you activate it. Like if you could activate it, just like slightly let it fill up and then just instantly detonate it, I think it'll be much better than it is. But I think just the fact that you're locked in is its downfall.
Yeah. I think it should be able to like, it consumes specials pretty good. And I think that's the only thing that messes up with it, like the early detonation and being able to cancel it. Yeah, I could see that's the only change.
But concept-wise, yeah, I do want it to come back because it's very unique. Yeah. So.
All right. Killer, I have a feeling you're not gonna like this one because
it does not need to come back. This special is just like even as a special, just like it's so. I want to say lame. I don't know if I should say lame, but it is lame. Like you just press the button, it auto targets people and follows them. Like
wasn't that a change though? That was a change that they did. I don't think it initially came like that, right? I don't remember. I remember they did like a buff to it.
I think the buff had to do with like, I think if there were no enemies like around that you're
oh right, that, like if it auto target,
it'll go back to like the last person.
Yeah,
I don't know, something like that. But no, yeah, it's always been like when you pop it, you aim it at someone, then it just automatically starts following them. And you know, I feel weird saying that because after using Dowser Dualies, I've grown to love using the special, but at the same time, I'm not gonna deny that it's pretty lame. So
I think out of all tracking specials, like compared this one to like missiles, I would prefer this one a little bit more. I think it's a little bit more healthier in design. Like it doesn't show the enemy where the Tenta missiles are being located, so like that's what made missiles so problematic in S2, right? But I feel like with this one, it's like because the user of Killer Whale is the only one that can track people and call it out to their teammates if they need to. I think that's what makes the special healthy. I do think it's like relatively annoying.
Yeah, I do agree that it's less annoying than missiles. But at the same time, I'm just not a fan of this style of special where you just press a button that automatically goes out to the enemy. Okay. I just don't really care. So
you like taking action like right after doing your special.
I mean, I just like having to use skill to at the enemies.
Here's the ultimate skill special, Inkjet. I am breaking my rule once again. This special needs to come back. Just because they didn't really give us a lot of options in S3, I think. Obviously, this was like an S2 fan favorite, but I do think this one should come back.
I agree. I think it's a very well-designed special. I will say this, though. If this comes back, Trizooka should not. I think having both of them in the game is kind of silly. And I think that's why there's not a lot of Inkjet weapons, because they're like, oh, Zuka's better. Let's just give Zuka to like more of the weapons that we would have got given Inkjet.
Right.
I think that's like Galuga. You could tell they're like, no, let's give it to Zuka instead.
I lucked out. Tri-Slosher has Inkjet, so I've had my fun with it, but it just sucks. Like, I think it's more with Pencil just being really strong that makes the special feel a little bit sucky, but I like the changes that they did to the Inkjet. Like, you're able to like propel higher when pressing B. The radius was increased a little bit. Because in S2, you could just run like one sub of bomb defense, and then you could or bomb defense DX, because it was able to reduce the weaknesses from the specials as well in S2.
Right. Yeah.
But
that was the best ability in that game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what other concept they would be able to. Maybe like give it the ability to charge up a shot. Like have your regular shots, but have the ability to, like Crab Tank has its regular shots, but then it has like a bomb type of shot.
So it would be like a bigger projectile.
Yeah, but like it takes up more ink of like your special usage, so it decreases how much you could use the Inkjet, but you're able to like use this one big shot. I don't know, but I think giving it more options, like a Mark III Inkjet, I don't know. Because its original concept was based off Inkzuka when it was in S2, so.
Yeah, so it's like, why did they bring back this and Zuka?
Yeah.
I think that's the best case scenario. Bring it back, give it a slight little change and rework. I think that's the best case scenario.
Okay. Ultra Stamp. Okay.
All right, let me go first on this.
Okay, go for it.
So, here's my problem with Ultra Stamp, okay? In Splatoon 3 specifically. And it's the same exact thing that we were just talking about with Trizooka and Inkjet. Why did they bring back... Well, again, we'll talk about this more when we reach it, but I'm just going to say it now. Why did they bring back Kraken when this is in the game?
Yeah.
And this was supposed to be the better version of... Or, not better, but
the
like
healthier
version of Kraken. And you could tell that it's supposed to be... This is the healthier version because it makes the same startup noise as Kraken does. Yeah. Or at least it did. It makes the same noise it made in Splatoon 1. I don't know. I don't think Kraken still makes that noise in Splatoon 3, but it makes the little ding noise when you pop it, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I hate that they brought back Kraken with this. But anyways, back to the topic of just Ultra Stamp. If it comes back, it needs... Just make it like how it was in Splatoon 2. Like, honestly. Like, in Splatoon 2, it would pretty reliably protect you from the front.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the special needs. Now, it just feels... In Splatoon 3, they turned it into just it just feels jankier.
It's a glass cannon, honestly. Yeah.
It doesn't protect you, but like it gets away with like super cheesy kills because they made the shockwaves around it so big.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't even... in this, I don't really like how Ultra Stamp is in Splatoon 3 specifically. I don't like what they turned it into. I wish it was just like Splatoon 2.
Okay, my bias is going to show here. All right.
Okay.
So, one part of me says yes, because I think this is the healthier version, like you were saying, of like Kraken and that type of special where you're kind of using it to take out the enemy by taking an aggressive position, right? Okay. My bias is that sloshers suck playing against this special, and I absolutely hate playing against it. Like the lag, dude. Oh my god, the lag and this special playing. Okay, Machine before the nerf was fine, but then post nerf, I could not hit this thing. And then if you try to get to the sides, the shockwaves just kill you. Try Slosher, same thing. Slosher, same thing. Like if I get lucky, cool, but is it? I'll say yes, bring it back, but S4 just has to have better like internet connection. maybe that'll be the
if it has better internet connection, I think it'll be okay. But as it is right now with current Splatoon 3, it's pretty atrocious.
God, it is so atrocious playing anything that's like relatively slow, like anything that's not a shooter, like that shoots projectiles. Like I would say, like if you're a shooter player, a Splatling player, a dually player, like Ultra Stamp may not seem like a big problem, but like for everyone else, it's like super annoying.
Yeah,
Oh, my
dude.
God.
You know, Dowser dualies are like the best weapon versus Ultra Stamp.
Yeah, because like when it goes into its dodge roll, it like shoots crazy fast,
Well,
right?
it rolls so far too, so you
Yeah.
can roll out of the way completely. Like the shockwaves won't hit you. So,
Yeah. All right. This is the special that when I think of S3, this one comes to mind. It's probably because of early meta, but even though it reminds me so much of S3, I think Crab Tank deserves a second shot at S4. I don't know. What do you think? I know this special kind of... Do you not like the special? I mean, it's an dually, right?
Yeah, it's on a dually that I don't play, so I don't care about it.
It's a good special. It's a very good special.
Oh, well, I'm not denying that. It is very good.
No, I mean, like, it's healthy, too. Like, I think it's healthy.
Okay, maybe now it's healthy. Before it wasn't.
Yeah,
Before those
okay,
nerfs it
okay,
got,
okay, yeah.
It was horrible back then. I know this is not common opinion, but I still think for how fast this thing shoots, I think it has too much range.
Really? Interesting.
I think it needs, if it just got slightly less range, I think it would be fine.
Okay.
Or they could nerf its fire rate, but I feel like people would prefer a range nerf over a fire rate nerf.
Yeah.
Would you prefer a range nerf over a fire rate nerf?
Man, that's kind of hard. I would say
is.
probably a fire rate. Yeah.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I'm okay with it coming back, but I want it to be nerfed a little bit. And it would still be good if it's nerfed. I'm not saying, like, kill it. Like, it would still be good, but just, like, a slight tone back.
Yeah, because I don't think this special's objective is to get kills. It's mostly, like, to take up space. So that's why I'm saying, like, the fire nerf is not that... It's not that big of an issue, but I don't know. I like the concept of what Crab Tank is. Like, it has properties of what Baller was with its ball-shaped form, but it's also like a Splatling gun, but just enhanced with like an Explosher shot. So, I don't know. I like the like it's literally a Bakugan in Splatoon like gameplay. That's it. When I first saw this special, I thought it was really cool. Obviously, like we suffered with a very long meta with this weapon, or this special, but I don't know. I think it deserves another chance. We didn't really get a lot of specials like after launch, so.
Yeah, they gave it the Stingray treatment,
Yeah.
just like Tenta Missiles too. Although there's more crab weapons than Tenta Missiles, so I guess Tenta Missiles is the one they did it more with.
All right, we're gonna move on to your favorite special, Reefslider. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll say. Okay, let me get this out of the way because a lot of people have been asking me this, so I'll just say it here. After the buffs this thing got, I don't hate it as much. Like, it's
Really?
usable now.
Okay.
It's still awful, but
Yeah.
it's usable now. Now, with saying that, if this comes back, first of all, don't bring back Splashdown again.
Yeah.
And also don't bring back Kraken again if they want to bring this back. If they want to bring it back. And if they do bring it back, it needs heavy modifications.
What would you do to it? Like, what's the first thing?
Well, what everyone says, it needs to destroy bombs. I think that's the primary thing.
Right.
Destroy bombs. Should not have end lag. It should have 0. You should be able to move because Splashdown can. So why can't Reefslider? I'm okay with the startup lag. The startup lag is justified. I think that's fine. But the end lag though needs to go.
Okay.
And then in terms of other little things they could do, I talked about this before in many videos, but I just always say, like, give us some slight like control over it. Maybe let us ever so slightly turn it, or let us do little jumps to like get over ledges.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing honestly about the special right now is just I don't know. You've used Reefslider a bit, right?
I mean, Dreadringer has it, so I've used it quite a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how like when you pop it sometimes, like it gets caught on the tiniest little corner or something, and it just like stops.
Oh my god, dude! I hate that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's why they need to let us like do a little hop or make it go around ledges or something.
So it can hop around like in Mario Kart, like when you jump a little bit.
A little tiny hop like that. Yeah, that could go a long ways. I think
that would be cool.
Yeah.
I think for a detonation special, I think I would prefer this one coming back. Like, I think, spoiler alert, I don't think Splashdown should come back again, but I think if you had to pick a detonation special, this is probably the best one. I do think they should give it like the Superman jump. Just imagine like a shark jumping all the way up into the air and then just like crashing down, and then it just detonates like right then and there. I think the concept, the fact that it couldn't super jump in Splashdown is crazy. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that devs were already planning like, oh yeah, we should bring triple Splashdown instead. Don't give it to Reefslider.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I actually think they weren't planning. I don't think triple Splashdown was planned when the game came out.
Really? I think they wanted to bring it back.
I think Kraken was planned. I feel like triple Splashdown and Screen weren't though.
Interesting.
That's my opinion.
Okay. All right.
Maybe.
Let's go to triple Ink Strike. I'm gonna go on a limb and say 100% it should come back. I like
Oh really?
Yeah, I liked. Well, I mean, I'm a slosher player, so maybe I'm biased there. I mean, I liked Ink Strike in Splatoon 1, and then I liked Tri-Strike in Splatoon 3. I like the concept of being able to throw your strikes and still being vulnerable and trying to displace people. Like, there's some risk reward to it. Obviously, there's some weapons that like just stay back and spam the special, like Splash Neo and stuff. But like Slosher doesn't really do that, so I don't really see that problem. But I do think they should have given it the ability to swim, like Tenta Missiles. But
yeah, I was gonna say I'm okay with it coming back. I think it's a well-designed special for the most part, but I want them to undo. I know I'm gonna sound crazy for a second, but hear me out completely. I want them to undo those buffs they gave it.
Wait, like the buffs to like the shredding
the one where like it basically where they made it so if you just like slightly touch it, you just die. And then also I think they should slightly reduce the paint on it. I think like for zone siege purposes.
Yeah.
But as a compensation, let people swim with it.
Let people swim with it.
Yeah.
I think maybe making the range a little bit shorter and then compensating it with the swim speed would be like being able to swim in the ink. That would be fine with me.
Oh, you think don't let people throw it as far?
Yeah, because that's what I see as the problem with like the spammers, like with Splash Neo in particular. They just literally stay back, throw bombs, throw a suction, throw the tri-strikes, and then rinse and repeat. Whereas I feel like, you know, Shot or Slosher or Dowsers or even like Brella, they get up in your face and they position it correctly to throw the tri-strikes and like not special spam. I think that's just the problem with like the special spams. It's like you never interact with them because they're just painting and they're so far away you can't kill them. So that's my issue with it. I think that would affect like chargers, but anybody on my channel by this point knows that I don't like chargers, so oh well. Sorry. All right. This is the special. This is a special. Tactical. I'm gonna let you go. Take the lead on this one.
You're gonna let me go?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh boy, dude, this is a hard one. I remember I was so excited about this special and its whole concept, like when Splatoon 3 came out.
Yeah.
And I loved it when it wasn't popular.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
But then they gave it some very not smart buffs, in my opinion, which I've been vocal about on my Twitter and stuff, but I'll say it again here in case people haven't seen that. But I don't think, Gus, you remember how they gave it those buffs where like, well, one, you could just throw the fridge farther.
Yeah.
Like, you could throw it really far.
And then people can grab the drinks farther as well.
You can grab it from so far away. Like, and my philosophy on that is that what made this special cool and unique was that you had to get really close to it in order to grab it. I think that's what made it so like
there was a
cool.
risk reward to it. Yeah.
Like you had to really coordinate with your team where it would be, and then you know, it wasn't very used back then because people didn't like that. Like people were like, oh well, you have to get so close to it, like I'm not going to use it. But then once they made it, you know, much easier to grab, then it became, people realized how powerful it was.
Yeah.
I feel like now, if they reverted those buffs that they gave it, I think it would still be used a decent amount, but it would be much more balanced because I think now people have realized how powerful the special is.
Yeah.
So I think if they keep everything else the same, but just nerf the throw distance and nerf the grab distance, I would be okay with this coming back as is, just with those two changes. I know some people will say like, oh, they need to fix the special saver on it, which okay, I'd be okay if they like nerf that slightly, I guess. But if it were to come back as is, just with those two changes I mentioned earlier, I'd be happy with that.
I think it depends on like what the objective is. Like if you're trying to reduce special spam, I think special saver and like changing that aspect of it would be fine. I mean, I've seen other conversations of like reducing the time and have people focus more on their gear and their build to compensate for that time. because that's what makes the special so strong. I mean, like, what, it lasts like 17, 18 seconds, and you literally just put 2 subs and you get like 2 extra seconds at base value. So like, I think if you want to keep the elements of what makes it so strong, like you keep the radius and how much people can like be distant from it and grab the drink, like you have to make your gear, you need to make the special very gear dependent for it to be that strong.
When you talk about the time, are you referring to how long the effects are active?
How long the effects are active? Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
I'm okay with that being nerfed, but I also think they could nerf just how long the fridge stays up.
Wait, but here's another good question. Do you think it should be destroyed? Because this is the only object that you get to throw on the ground, and it's not like Wavebreaker, right? Like you just throw it and people can shoot it and destroy it. Like Tacticooler is invincible, except when a tower control, the tower runs over it. But do you think it should be like destroyable, and that would make it better?
I feel like if they make some of the other changes we were talking about, I don't think they need to do that.
Yeah.
But if they just want to do this and nothing else, that could be a good nerf for it. Yeah. I know you've heard this concept before, but I want to hear your thoughts on it now. Yeah. What if enemies could grab the drinks too?
No, that would be ridiculous.
But that would make it so you really have to plan.
Feels like a Fortnite. Like change where you just jack your enemies. Maybe if there was a reward for, maybe, I don't know. It's so hard to like. Tacticooler is like fun in the sense where it gives you all the stuff that made Splatoon 1 fun with like the QR and stuff, but I just feel like the weapons it's on, one particular weapon, it's like makes the game very unfun. So I think Tacticooler should return, but I'm honestly gonna say like it shouldn't, because I feel Tacticooler is to S3 what Ink Armor is to S2. It's the definitive supportive role that defined that game, that I wouldn't want to basically replicate that for Splatoon 4. Because like a lot of people say like S2 and S3 are pretty much the same, but like it's not. Like the metas are completely different. Like the supportive special is completely different. So I think S4 should have a different supportive special.
Yeah, I'm down for that. And again, just what you said about like how Tacticooler is like the armor in Splatoon 3. Again, before they gave it those space buffs where you grab it far away, that's what made it cool, because it wasn't like Ink Armor. Yeah. But now it basically is, because you could just grab it from nearly anywhere in its vicinity.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's like Bubbler. Like you had to be very close. You had to touch your teammate to get the Bubbler effect. I mean, like if they reduce the radius, that would be fine. But now we're moving on to the newer specials, which aren't on that many weapons, but I think these are more interesting because they haven't had that much of an opportunity to shine. Obviously, there's one that should flat out not come back, but Super Chumps, I'm gonna say I really like these. I like the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're very happy and they're very fun. So
yeah. Very happy because they have like smiley faces on them.
Smiling on them.
As it is right now, that they just made them blow up faster. I think that was great. I'd like to see this on some more aggro weapons. Like put it on. I wish Wiper got it. Wiper Deco not getting this made me very sad. Tetra could get it maybe. I'd be okay if Tetra got this. It would work perfect for Tetra. Dapples, like just aggro frontline weapons. Like the only one that really has it that's like that is like Zap. Yeah. And even Zap's not that.
It's
aggro.
Not that good.
So
aggro.
I feel like this special just hasn't what's the term? Like been realized yet in terms of its power, just because it's not on the right weapons. Like it being on Dynamo and like CDS and Stringer is kind of weird.
Yeah.
To me.
I always thought a fun kit would be Slosher with Torpedo and Super Chumps, just to like take advantage of like Slosher still being aggressive and giving it a sub where you could combo with it. So I was like, that's the thing that Super Chumps as a concept is really cool. It like protects you, like it blocks enemy shots, it paints a ton, it does a little bit of damage, but that's not its purpose. It's really meant to like invade an enemy space. But not like you're saying, none of the weapons are capable of doing that aggressively, and I feel like that's what's missing. unfortunately. So yeah, I think this one deserves a second chance, honestly,
Yeah,
for
me
like
too.
what it does. This
Just
one,
on better weapons.
this one's an easy one. Kraken, 100% no. No. No.
Shouldn't have come back in this game.
No. For anybody saying yes, this is the whole reason why I shouldn't come back. Invincibility in whatever game, Splatoon or not, is unhealthy for the game. It's simple as that. Yeah, it's simple as that.
Yeah, I completely agree. The only other thing I want to add is what I said earlier. Ultra Stamp exists already. Why
Yeah.
did this come back?
Yeah. If you want to get more thoughts on this, Chase made a good video on this. So I'll link that in the description.
I've made 2 videos.
Yeah, 2
about
videos.
how Kraken is stupid.
I think it's incredibly ridiculous. So the fact that
Yeah.
you're invincible for what, 6-7 seconds, and even like just the pushback, like the knockback, like it's non-existent for some weapons because it's able to charge hold and like just move past that. So I digress. But okay, triple splashdown.
Okay.
Yeah, take it because that's a. I mean that's a Reefslider killer basically, like in usage.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'll say you kind of already alluded to this, but if I only want Reefslider or triple splashdown to come back,
Okay.
both of them should not. And honestly, if I had to choose, I would actually prefer Reefslider, but just like have them make changes to it compared to triple splashdown. Triple splashdown is fine, like as a special, I don't hate it. But it's also like sometimes you just can't get out of it. Like it just like if someone pops at the right spot, it just feels a little cheap, I guess sometimes. Especially once they buffed the speed of it.
Yeah.
Because you don't have time to really shoot. Before you could shoot down the fists, like you had time, but now, yeah, not really.
I feel like this is just a casual killer, so
It is.
I'm
yeah.
just gonna agree with my casual friends and say it should not come back. Because
fair.
this is a special that I feel like at higher levels of play it's not as annoying, but at lower levels of play it's like incredibly annoying. So I think for the balance of Splatoon 4, I think like you said, like if you want a detonation special, pick either between Reefslider or triple splashdown. I feel like Splashdown has been overdone already, being like it's not like I said, it's not like Big Bubbler and Bubbler. Like those are 2 completely different specials. Splashdown and triple splashdown are relatively closer than those 2 specials are. And this one just seems like a similar version just with 2 fists. All right. This one's a little controversial, but it's our final
one.
special. Yeah. What do you think? Splattercolor Screen.
As a concept, it should come back. It's good. It's a good concept.
Yeah.
It's unique.
I like it.
It's something we've never seen it before. I think something that obstructs vision, and something that just makes enemies move out of the way, and even I know this is the controversial part, but even something that like can kind of mess with people's vision is cool in concept. They executed it horribly.
Yeah.
But in concept, it's cool. So my stance is bring it back and just execute it better in a more sensible way.
I honestly think they should take the blooper concept from Mario Kart 8, take it out for Mario Kart 9, and then put it on this special for Splatoon 4. So like,
don't bring blooper back in Mario Kart. Kill it, but put it in this game instead.
And make it colorful, like make it the enemy ink or something. Like just blur the vision where it doesn't completely change like the saturation of the screen. Just put like the bloopers ink in front of you. That's a color of Splatoon, and adjust the audio frequency of like how it messes with like. I think if you do it, just make it silent. Like you can't hear anything. And maybe you could just hear the game, like the game music, and you'll suffer from that because some of the music is not that good. But I like the special.
You know what I want them? They'll never do this, but you know what I want them to do? You know how this? I know you told me that you play a lot of Mario Party.
Yeah.
You know how there's some Mario Party mini games where like your controls are like inverted.
Yeah. Oh no, don't.
No, I want them.
That would
so
be
if you hit it, I want like, maybe nothing else changes. Like it's completely normal, except your character gets confused, and then like up is
Jesus
down,
Christ.
and like right is left and stuff.
Or motion controls changes to stick controls, and stick controls change to motion controls.
Yeah,
Just like messing with like the player base and everything.
Yeah,
Oh
obviously,
my God. That's so evil.
That,
That's so evil.
in such a wacky game like this, I'd be down for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
See, but Gus, at the same time, that could be good because right now, as Screen is, I feel like a lot of people are okay with just going through it, especially since you could parry it with the squid roll.
Yeah.
If that were in the game, no one would want to go through it. So like that would definitely be a buff, that's for sure.
I think if you do like a perfect parry, you should be able to avoid the saturation effects as well. Like not just the damage effects. Because like if you do it perfectly, I think you should be rewarded. I mean, there was one point, I don't know if you remember, like early S3, you could parry the ink vac shot because it was so weak. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. You could parry Reefslider too.
Oh my god, dude. That whole early Splatoon 3 was kind of crazy. Okay, we've gone through the whole list. I want to hear from the comment section. Do you agree with mine and Chase's picks? If you want us to look at Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2 specials to see which of those should return, make sure to like and subscribe to Chase's channel as well.
Yes, please. Thanks for having me, Gus. It was fun. Very, very fun discussion. And I'm glad we mostly agreed on everything.
Mostly everything. There was some like...
Mostly.
I don't even know which ones we disagreed on. But it seems like we're on the same page. You see, sloshers and dually players can agree and can coexist, apparently.
Yeah.
Just make sure to always play Tri-Slosher against Tetras, and you'll be completely fine.
Right.